Hello friends. Now, how to read newspapers is one of the more basic questions that is always asked. I already have a newspaper with me and we'll try to analyze this for you. But there are three basic questions which needs to be asked before going ahead. First is, why should we read newspapers? If everything is available in the market, if all the online sources, booklets, magazines, everything is available in the market, why do we read? Why do we need to read newspapers? Can't we, just go and read those stuff from various websites and make sure and crack the examination? Well, that will not work. The reason is, you're not just reading newspapers, you're building your thought, you're building your communication, you're developing opinion, you're developing your thought process, you're developing the interlinkages of your understanding. Let's say you're reading newspapers regularly, a topic comes, and if you're reading it regularly, so you develop a canvas of thought of understanding. Benefits of pictorial memory, because when you read something, you see the images, so you get that benefit also, which is there, which I believe is not there in magazines or booklets, and if it is there, it is not so effective. So these are the benefits of why reading newspapers. UPSC questions, a lot of questions in mains especially, they are opinion based, issue based, social issues, judgment based, and newspaper reading has no other alternative. Initially for 6 to 8 months or 1 year, at least you have to read newspapers. Later on, you can go for selective reading, but reading newspaper cannot be avoided at any cost. Second is what to read in newspaper. And third is how to read newspapers. Today we'll cover the second part. What to read in newspapers. The third part, what to read in a newspaper, is I'll be covering when we will cover a video on how to make notes in UPSC examination. So I'll be mainly covering the second question, that is what to read in a newspaper. Now I have a Hindu newspaper with me and I'll be taking it from page 1 by 1. Now typically in a Hindu newspaper, for example, this today's newspaper, and today is 6th March and today is 6th March, so we have around 18 pages in this newspaper. Let's go one by one. If you read, go the first page. Usually the first page is the most important page, but remember, the first page is mainly about news which are there, important news which are there in the, in general. So general skimming is required. Not all news is important. So general skimming is required. For example, some military attack has taken place, so general skimming, okay. Some probe is going on, some awards have happened. So general skimming, you don't have to go in detail. Selective articles might have relevance or requirement for UPSC, that you can read that article. But mostly general skimming is required. Just see the image, see the basic information, and you can easily skip the first page. Second, third, fourth, fifth, almost up to page number 6. Up to page number 6. That is from 2 to 6. Page number 2 to 6. There are regional news or local news. Again, UPSC, remember, it's a macro examination. You can easily avoid these news. Selectively, at times the news and these news are important, but again very selectively, very fewer. That also you can filter it by going through past year's papers of prelims as well as mains. What kind of questions are being asked? Mains 2013 onwards and prelims 2011 onwards. So civil service prelims 13-11 onwards, if you follow, you will get the range of questions that have come in the examination, and you will also understand what to read in the newspaper, because you know that these kind of issues are being asked in the newspaper in the question examination, and accordingly you can read the newspaper as well. Now come directly to page number 7. Now page number 7 is a national news. Remember, UPSC has a macro perspective, so macro news. Again here, for example, here there is a threat of new malware looms over cyberspace. It's a science and tech news as well as news of internal security. So you can easily go through these news. Here also, always read news which have national perspective. Avoid political news, issues of issues where two political parties are confronting or questioning themselves. Any in general news which has happened in India, maybe some event has happened, or maybe some so that can be avoided, because in UPSC only governance based or policy based news can be followed. Any government schemes might be covering here. For example, here no government scheme is there. Any government scheme is there. So Supreme Court judgment is there. Some Supreme Court judgment information is there that can be read. And you can filter them that these news are important. Now we'll come to the editorial part. The most important part of the examination is the editorial. Now editorial here is today's page number 8. Now typically editorial has the main article here, you can see the main article, the center page of the newspaper, the main article, and it has one more article below. So these two articles are important. Usually the articles could be from economics, international relations, or social issues, or governance. So you can read both the articles. Again, you can filter the articles. For example, today's article is on the India-Pakistan-China cooperation, especially CPEC, that is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Then the below article is on the banking sector, that is on the NPA issue that is going on the bank. If you read this, now we have two more editorial section, the side section. If you see this section, there are two articles, the articles here on the editorial section on the side. Now these are small articles. Usually the articles are related to certain events which has happened in India, opinion from the editor regarding what should be the way forward. These articles are also important. So typically in the entire page you have to read everything. Again, but at times you can filter also. Many times many news might not be important. Something is happening in Ethiopia, it has no relevance. So that can be avoided. Anything which has relation to India, and typically social issues, governance issues, international relations, or economics, banking sector, environment, ecology, security, government schemes. So anything else is there, you can read it. Now we'll go to op-ed, that is opposite editorial section. So op-ed is a section opposite editorial. Here again the articles could be there from certain people, opinion-based articles. For example, here the articles are on the international relations are there. So these articles again can be filtered. But remember, filtering is very important. If you see the articles here, there is an article on free trade, then there is an article on Brexit. Okay, there is an article on human rights law. So these articles, all the three articles today are relevant. But again, here you can filter the articles based on what UPSC has been asking in the mains and the prelims examination. Coming back to the national news, again this is mainly, most of the time you get political news. At times on the page number 10 here, you can easily identify the areas which are important. Most of the information will have political news, political overtone, but remember UPSC will ask governance news, government schemes news, effectiveness, some policy issues that can be covered. Coming back to again page number 11, both have similar kind of trend. For example, here if you have to filter here, there is an article on India-China step-up engagement. So India-China relations, that can be read. Rest you can be avoided. So you can easily avoid almost 80% of this, both the pages, post the editorial section. Then international relations, India and the world. But remember, international relations is again an area, if you see here, international relations has two aspects, general international and international relations which has relevance to India. So we'll avoid international relations which are general in nature. And we'll go and focus on those areas. For example, India and some international countries or international organization. Many times some events have been going on since many years, some conflict areas are there. You need to have a general understanding and basic information. But wherever India and its neighbors, India and international relations, India and international bodies are involved, that news are important for the examination. You can easily filter them, from there. Then come to the business and economy. Remember, UPSC is about macro examination. Business economics specifically will require you to read articles which has macro perspective. Banking, fiscal policy, monetary policy, national income, sectors of economy, agriculture, service or industry, related news, world trade, international balance payment situation. So all that will come here. Typically you can filter them. For example, there is an article on RBI which is injecting liquidity in the economy. There is a digital, growth digital article is there. Okay, then again next business page, mainly it has local, for example, it has corporate news. Corporate news can also be avoided. So this is what you have to cover till business news. Come to sports section, this can be avoided entirely. Entirely sports section can be avoided. UPSC will not ask sports question. And if they ask, mainly about sport policy and opinion-based questions are there. Then in the last page, at times in Thursday you will get a current science and tech area. So that is important. Here also again you can filter and understand the news that are important. Very few news are important in the last page. So that is what you have to read in a newspaper. Typically a newspaper will require 1 to 1.5 hours with notes. So 1 to with notes. That means reading and making notes will require 1-2. In the next video, we'll tell you how to make notes on the UPSC preparation. Or that means how to filter notes on the newspaper. That is how to read, what to read and how to read newspaper means after reading it, how to read them and how to make notes. That is I will be covering in the next video. Thank you very much.